Parshas Vayishlach, Tovshin Ayin Hey. First things first, let's get some business out of the way. In case anyone hasn't realized yet, there is a women's Malava Malka Chinese auction this week for Bika Cholim of Lakewood. Our sponsors, our hosts. In case anyone hasn't realized, behind me, that funny looking thing over there, that's called a stop sign. And there are many, many of these stop signs, and they come in many different forms, and I'm sure everybody has seen it all over town. And the idea is to create some publicity and to try to make sure that everybody comes this Motzei Shabbos to support this most worthy cause. People that I see firsthand every week, it's Taka Bika Cholim non-stop. And there's Bika Cholim, and then there's what they write on the stop signs and on the magnets and everything else that's stuck all over my car tonight also. Hope I could see it through the window when I get back outside. But very, very worthy cause. We hope everybody's going to take yourself, your family, and join in this fundraiser that Bika Cholim is carrying out this Motzei Shabbos. Parshas Vayishlach. Believe it or not, we are less than 2 weeks to Hanukkah. And that means it's a very exciting time of the year, Hanukkah, but it's so hard to believe that we were just talking, come on, we were just talking Elul, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and as soon as we pass that, we say, before you turn around, it's Hanukkah, and here comes Hanukkah. So in the Mitzvah, in the next week or two, we're going to discuss a lot more about Hanukkah. This week we're going to concentrate still on the Parsha. We have our audio feed, which was a tremendous success last week. The quality of the audio, without the video, the quality of the audio was really fantastic, and we hope to continue upgrading the audio situation. Vayero Elikim El Yaakov. Hashem appeared to Yaakov Avinu, right? Vayero Elikim El Yaakov Oid B'voy Oy Mi Padan Aram. Vayomer Lo Elikim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Yaakov Avinu, Shimcha Yaakov. Right now your name is Yaakov. Lo Yikore Shimcha Oid Yaakov. Your name shall not be Yaakov from here on. Ki im Yisrael. Your name should be Yisrael. Ki im Yisrael yeh shemecha. Vayikra es shemoy Yisrael. HaKadosh Baruch Hu changed or gave a different name to Yaakov Avinu. Until now you are Yaakov Avinu. From now on you're going to be Yisrael. There's a very interesting Gemara. Gemara Masechta Brachos Daf Yud Gimel Amud Aleph. The Gemara says, Kol hakoyrei le'Avraham Avram. Anybody that calls Avraham Avinu Avram, Oiver ba'asei. Anyone who calls Avraham Avinu Avram, you're Oiver and Asei in the Torah. Why? Because the Pasuk says, V'lo yikarei oid et shimcha Avram, v'hoya shimcha Avraham. The Torah says that you, Avraham Avinu, should now be called Avraham, and you should not be called Avram anymore. Anybody who calls Avraham Avinu Avram is over and a mitzvah saseh. And the Gemara asks, why is this not the case with Yaakov Avinu? Here with Yaakov Avinu in our parsha, it also says that Loikari Shimcha Oid Yaakov, your name should not be called Yaakov anymore. Why only by Avraham Avinu are you over on this asay? The answer to that is that by Yaakov Avinu we see something very interesting. We see that the Torah itself goes back to using the name Yaakov even after this parsha, even after this pasuk. Vayomer Elikim liYisrael b'maris halayla, the pasuk says, Vayomer Yaakov Yaakov al tira merdo mitzrayma. The pasuk, in the same pasuk, the pasuk says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Yisrael, and he called Yaakov Avinu, he called out the Lashon Shel Chiba, Yaakov, Yaakov. So we see that the Torah itself goes back to calling Yaakov Avinu, to calling him Yaakov. It is different than by Avraham Avinu. We see that the name Yaakov remained with Yaakov Avinu even after the name Yisrael was assigned. Why is that? Why is it different by Yaakov Avinu than it is by Avraham Avinu? And Avraham Avinu, it goes so far that even you're over and asay if you use the name Avram. If you use the original name, it's no good. So also, why did Yaakov Avinu, so if we say that the Torah went back and we used the name Yaakov, why does Yaakov Avinu have two names as opposed to all the other Avos? The other Avos, Avraham Avinu was Avraham Avinu. Yitzchak Avinu was just Yitzchak. Why did Yaakov Avinu retain two names? And not only that, why do we see that in the same pasuk, the Torah uses the name Yaakov, first Yisrael and then Yaakov in the same pasuk? So Nesivos Shalom has Mahalach. The Nesivos Shalom explains that in Avodas Hashem, there are two different ways. We have to know that. We have to always remember that. There is the way of Bonim, Avodas Hashem as a son, which is Avodah Me'ava. Then there is the Avodah of Avodim, of a person that worships HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that serves HaKadosh Baruch Hu as an Eved, and that is Avodah Me'ira. Like we said from the Torah Avos when we spoke on Inyonei Rosh Hashanah, we say after when we blow the shofar, Hayoim Haras Olam, Hayoim Yamid B'Mishpat, Kol Yitzurei Olamim, Im Kevonim, Im Ka'avodim. So the Nesivos Shalom says on this tefillah that we're saying that part of the judgment of a Yid is how we serve the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Im Kevonim, Im Ka'avodim. How did you serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Did you serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu as a son, or did you serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu as an Eved? And we know that the Avodah of Banim is greater. The Avodah of a Ben is a greater Avodah. However, it says in the Nesivos Shalom, there are times a person has to know, there are times that you need to be an Eved. There are times when you need to get by an Nisayon. And the midah of Banim will not be enough. The midah of serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu as a Ben is not enough. You have to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with Avodah Me'ira. If a person has to get by in Nisayon, you need the Avodah Me'ira. We know that the midah of Avraham Avinu was Chesed Va'ava. The midah of Yitzchak Avinu was Gevura V'yira. Two different types of Avodah. Avraham Avinu, Chesed and Ava. Yitzchak Avinu, Gevura and Yira. Yaakov Avinu, we know, Yaakov Avinu had the midah of Tiferes, which combines the Chesed and Gevura, and combines the Ava V'yira. You took the midahs of Avraham Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, took them and combined them. And there are times in life, says in the Nesivos Shalom, when we need the midas ahava for avodas Hashem, such as when a person is learning Torah of avodah. So we need the midah of ahava to come close to Kadosh Baruch Hu at those times. And then there are other times when we need dafka the midah of yira. Like if a person has to battle a taiva, if a person has to battle the Yetzer Hara, if you just use the midah of ahava, you can fail in your battle. The midah of ahava could go ori. The midah of ahava could go off the wrong way. A person has to come with midas ahava. And what is real shleimus? Real shleimus is like Yaakov Avinu. Real shleimus, a person is supposed to strive for, is the combination and the balance of both of these midas. The midah that Yaakov Avinu had